Join me as I dive into the mystery of alien abductions and challenge you to work out if it's all just pure fiction or indeed true fact. In other words, is it a myth or reality? Yes, that's right. We're going to solve, right here and right now, what the rest of the world can't. Have alien abductions really taken place? Pretty cool, right? Alien abductions, the stuff of science fiction or a terrifying reality. From Close Encounters to Stranger Things, the idea of beings from another world swooping in and whisking us away has captivated our imagination. But how much of it is based on fact? How many of us have stopped to think about the legitimacy of these claims? Aliens. Just the word conjures images of dark skies, flashing lights, and figures that are neither human nor animal. For decades, alien abduction stories have blurred the line between reality and imagination. Some accounts are meticulously documented, supported by witnesses and evidence that leave even skeptics scratching their heads. Others are fabrications, wild tales spun by creative minds or desperate attention seekers. But what happens when you're faced with two abduction stories, one rooted in fact and one entirely made up? Can you tell which is which? In recent years, the concept of alien abductions has become increasingly popular, with many people coming forward to share their own experiences. Some claim to have been probed, experimented on, and even communicated with extraterrestrial beings. But what drives people to make such extraordinary claims, and are they telling the truth? The debate over the validity of alien abductions has been raging for decades, with skeptics dismissing them as mere fantasies, while believers are convinced that they're a reality. As we delve deeper into this phenomenon, it's essential to separate fact from fiction and explore the reasons behind the enduring fascination with alien abductions. Reports of alien abductions have been flooding in from all corners of the globe, each with its unique set of circumstances and details. Take, for instance, the case of Betty and Barney Hill, an American couple who claimed to have been abducted by aliens in 1961. Their story, which included details of a medical examination and communication with the extraterrestrial beings, sent shockwaves across the world. One of the most remarkable aspects of alleged alien abductions is the sheer diversity of experiences. Some people claim to have been taken on board spaceships, while others speak of being transported to distant planets. The emotions involved are just as varied, ranging from fear and panic to a sense of wonder and awe. Consider the case of Travis Walton, whose abduction story was immortalized in the movie Fire in the Sky. Walton's account of being taken by aliens, subjected to medical experiments, and eventually returned to Earth is both terrifying and fascinating. Stories of alien abductions are often characterized by vivid details, which are etched into the minds of those who claim to have experienced them. The stories are also often laced with a sense of wonder, as those who have allegedly encountered extraterrestrial beings try to make sense of the encounter. What's striking about these reports is the sense of authenticity that pervades them. The people who come forward with these stories are often ordinary individuals, not seeking fame or fortune, but instead trying to understand what happened to them. The sheer number of reports, coupled with the sincerity of those who claim to have been abducted, raises an intriguing question. Could these stories be more than just mere fantasies? Could they be rooted in reality? One of the most compelling cases of alien abduction is that of Bob Lazar, a self-proclaimed engineer who worked at Area 51, the secretive U.S. Air Force Base in Nevada. Lazar's story, which includes details of reverse engineering alien technology, is as fascinating as it is controversial. Lazar's account is remarkable for its level of detail, which includes descriptions of the extraterrestrial beings he allegedly worked with, as well as the technology he claims to have seen. His story has sparked a heated debate, with some hailing him as a hero, while others dismiss him as a charlatan. The reactions to Lazar's story are a microcosm of the broader debate surrounding alien abductions. On one hand, there are those who are convinced that Lazar is telling the truth, and that his story is a window into a world beyond our own. On the other hand, there are those who dismiss his claims as outlandish and impossible. The skeptics argue that Lazar's story is a fabrication, designed to garner attention and fame. The reactions to alien abduction stories are often a reflection of our own psychological and societal biases. For instance, those who are inclined to believe in the supernatural may be more likely to accept the idea of alien abductions, while skeptics may be more inclined to dismiss them as fantasies. The debate over alien abductions raises important questions about our perception of reality. If we're willing to dismiss these claims out of hand, Are we closing ourselves off to the possibility of discovering something new and extraordinary? As we reflect on the mystery of alien abductions, it's essential to approach the subject with an open mind. By doing so, we may just uncover a truth that challenges our understanding of the universe and our place within it. As we delve deeper into the unknown, it's clear that the mystery of alien abductions is far from being solved. Instead, it's a puzzle that continues to intrigue and fascinate us, leaving us pondering the possibilities. The arguments over alien abduction is far from over, and it's up to each of us to draw our own conclusions. So what do you think? Do you believe in alien abductions, or do you think they're just the stuff of science fiction? Can you tell the difference between a true story of alien abduction or one of fiction created to deceive? Well, let's put you all to the test. What follows are two such stories. Both are written in the same chilling style, each with its own twists and turns. But only one is based on real, documented accounts. Read carefully and decide for yourself which tale is true and which is fiction. At the end, all will be revealed. Story 1. The Incident at Devil's Hollow. It was an unremarkable August evening in 1977 when Lisa Harding's life changed forever. A nurse in her late 30s, Lisa lived alone in the rural town of Lebanon, Ohio, not far from a wooded area known as Devil's Hollow. That night, she had just returned home from her evening shift at the local hospital. As she parked her car in the gravel driveway, a strange hum filled the air. At first, she thought it was power lines buzzing, but it grew louder and more dissonant, making her ears ache. The next thing Lisa remembered was waking up on her kitchen floor. Hours had passed. Her clock, stopped at 9:13 p.m., gave no clue as to how long she had been unconscious. Her head throbbed, and a metallic taste coated her tongue. Strangely, her front door was locked from the inside, though she had no memory of entering the house. Over the following days, Lisa's health deteriorated. She experienced dizzy spells, nausea, and an unusual rash on her wrists and ankles. But it wasn't until the dreams began that Lisa started to panic. Night after night, she dreamed of being surrounded by bright, unearthly light. Shadowy figures with large, almond-shaped eyes stood over her, communicating in a language she couldn't understand. She'd wake up drenched in sweat, unable to shake the feeling that she was being watched. Desperate for answers, Lisa sought help from a hypnotherapist, Dr. James Garrett. Under hypnosis, Lisa recounted terrifying details, being taken aboard a circular craft, strapped to a cold metal table, and subjected to strange examinations. The beings, she said, communicated telepathically, telling her they were observing humanity. She also recalled seeing other people aboard the craft, frozen in some kind of suspended animation. When Lisa shared her story with a local UFO researcher, she discovered she wasn't alone. Several other residents of Lebanon had reported seeing strange lights in the sky that same night. One man claimed his cattle had gone missing, only to reappear days later with bizarre, laser-like incisions on their bodies. Lisa's story gained national attention after being featured in a 1980 documentary about alien abductions. Though skeptics dismissed her account as a hallucination or a vivid nightmare, believers pointed to the consistency of her details with other abduction cases. To this day, Lisa remains adamant about what happened, her voice trembling with conviction as she insists, "They're out there, watching us. I know what I saw." Story 2, The Farmhouse Encounter. Jacob and Anna Whitaker lived a quiet life on their small farm in rural Montana. In October 1994, they were preparing for the first frost of the season. Their farmhouse, surrounded by open fields and distant mountains, was the perfect escape from the noise of the modern world. But that isolation would soon become their nightmare. On the evening of October 15th, Jacob was outside chopping firewood when he noticed an unusual light in the sky. At first, he thought it was a plane, but the light didn't blink or move like any aircraft he'd seen before. It hovered silently, growing brighter by the second. Suddenly, it shot down toward the treetops and stopped, casting an eerie glow over the field. Jacob dropped his axe and sprinted inside to get Anna. When they stepped back outside together, the light had moved closer. Anna described it as unnatural, a pale blue radiance that seemed to pulse, almost as if it were alive. The couple stood frozen, too terrified to move, when a low-frequency hum began to emanate from the object. Their ears popped, and both fell to their knees, clutching their heads in pain. The next thing Jacob and Anna remembered was waking up in their bedroom. It was morning. The last thing they recalled was being in the field, yet here they were, fully dressed, lying atop the covers of their bed. The house was eerily silent, and their dog Max was nowhere to be found. Over the following days, the couple experienced disturbing symptoms. Anna suffered from severe migraines and nosebleeds, while Jacob's vision blurred intermittently. They also noticed strange burns on their necks and shoulders, which appeared overnight. When they checked the field where the light had hovered, they found a large, circular patch of scorched grass. The soil beneath was dry and cracked, as if exposed to intense heat. Anna began having vivid flashbacks during her dreams. She described being in a sterile, white room filled with blinding light. Figures with elongated limbs and featureless faces surrounded her, inserting strange instruments into her arms and legs. Jacob, too, began to remember fragments, floating in a weightless environment, unable to move, while metallic arms scanned his body. The couple contacted local authorities, but their report was dismissed as a prank. Frustrated, they reached out to a UFO organization, who conducted an investigation. Soil samples from the scorched field revealed high levels of radiation, and neighbors admitted they had seen strange lights in the area on the same night. Despite this, the Whitakers' story never gained much traction outside of UFO enthusiast circles. Years later, Jacob reflected on the incident during an interview. "I don't care if people believe us or not. Something happened to us that night. Something we can't explain." Both stories are unsettling, aren't they? They have all the hallmarks of classic alien abduction cases: missing time, eerie lights, and disturbing aftereffects. But here's the twist. On this rare occasion, both stories are completely fictional. That's right, neither Lisa Harding nor the Whitakers ever existed outside of this narrative. Every detail, from the hypnotic regressions to the strange lights in the woods, was carefully crafted to mimic real UFO abduction reports. Got to keep you all on your toes. So did we fool you? Let us know in the comments if you were convinced one of these was real. And if you love unraveling the mysteries of the unknown, stick around for more spine-chilling tales.